What's up, Friday fam? It's your boy Elijah here, and today we're gonna be reacting. Well, I can't really react on my phone because I don't have a PC and none of that. But today we're gonna be reacting to three. Well, actually, this is my first reaction video. To three allegedly true lockdown stories, horror stories. So if y'all don't think this is true, it may be true, it may not be true. Whatever by the story says, I believe it is true because um actually, I once almost got into a real lockdown myself during second grade, actually. Um, but yeah, it's this video right here. I'm gonna put my thing up. Actually, I'm gonna move a little bit over here. There we go. And if y'all are wanting to watch this with me, y'all make sure to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, so that way you can see more videos like this when they come out. And you know what? Yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Grab your popcorn. Let's do it. So I'm gonna place y'all right here.
I was in my second year of high school. Every year, our school was required to perform at least 2 lockdown drills. But our principal at the time would always have us do more like 3 or 4, so I was pretty used to it. All the teachers would always warn us ahead of time to save any panic.
Oh, and before we actually get into the video, we're only like 26 seconds in. I just want to say that sometimes lockdown drills can be real or fake, and either if it's real or fake, you still have to take it seriously because if it's a practice drill and somebody actually comes in the building, then you actually have to turn serious and take this as a real lockdown drill. Like no phones, get out of sight. I'm not trying to be like one of those teachers on YouTube or anything, but like I'm being serious because you could get your life in danger by like putting your phone up because like if your phone makes a noise, then like you could be found dead. So I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but it's true. So yeah, let's get back to the video.
That morning, as I walked into my first period of class, I was informed by my history teacher that the school would be having a lockdown drill that day. I actually kind of liked them, because it meant we'd have less work to do considering the 20 or 25 minutes they always take. 30 minutes into class, and a short buzzer went off, followed by our principal's voice on the intercom. Like every other drill, he explained how the school was going into lockdown, but that it was just a practice drill. He explained that should there ever be a real lockdown, the buzzer would sound for longer, and there would be no intercom announcement. Our teacher instructed all of us to shut the curtains and go into the corner of the classroom that was not visible from the outside door.
Oh, flip.
You can do this. You can be the first millennial in history.
Then shut off the lights and
I'm
locked
gonna
the
go a
door.
minute and then we already had a flipping ad
For the
in.
next few minutes, we sat in silence. Eventually, we heard footsteps outside. It was the principal trying every classroom door to make sure they were locked and that the classes were responding to the lockdown correctly. Before I knew it, the drill was over. The day progressed, and I was now sitting in my physics class, which was right after lunch. At some point, I ducked out of the class to use the bathroom. Now, our school building had a basement. Down there, they had a bathroom that was much more private and a lot less busy, so I would always try to use that one. There were a couple classrooms down there, so it didn't look weird for me to go down there. I was sitting in one of the back stalls.
I don't think I can name one school that has a basement at the school, but y'all comment down on what schools that you guys are in that has basements.
In there, which was usually the case. All of a sudden, I heard the lockdown buzzer start going off from outside in the hall. It sounded for about a full minute before it abruptly stopped. I waited for the principal's voice to come over the speakers, but it never did. Which, like I mentioned earlier, was supposed to signify a real lockdown. At first, I didn't really think it was a real lockdown, though. It happened too close to the practice lockdown earlier that morning. I thought it was just a second part to the drill. But as I sat there for a few more minutes, I started to realize that if that were the case, that probably would have been explained over the intercom. I started to panic, now thinking this was real. I wasn't safe in the bathroom. The door had no lock, so I I ran outside to try and find a classroom. I got no response. I was both terrified and frustrated at the same time. I realized protocol was to never let anyone inside no matter what.
See, okay, now I feel like I get the reason why teachers may like not tell you to use the restroom and all that. But like they would have told you if they were having like an actual lockdown or fake. Well, I mean, like they don't know if they're having a real like internal lockdown. So yeah, that's why you like shouldn't go to the bathroom at certain times, because like I feel like teachers have like this one group chat where like they get all these messages about like what they're gonna be doing in the next year, like over there, blah blah blah. But yeah, still, sorry, like 3 minutes in.
I was on my own. I thought about going back to the bathroom, but found an empty computer lab first and settled on that. I got under one of the back desks, and for the second time that day, sat in silence. Only this time for a real lockdown. 10 minutes went by. Nothing. Not even an update over the intercom. Then, a hard dropping sound of running footsteps from outside coming down the basement stairs. I could hear the person's heavy breathing. It kept getting closer. It now sounded like it was just outside the room. I started adjusting my body position to try and duck down more to get further out of view, when a light turned on.
Ooh.
It was the light to the computer on the desk above me waking up. I must have accidentally pulled the mouse cord. It wasn't that bright, but it was enough for me to make out a silhouette in the doorway to the room. I genuinely feared for my life in that moment. The person was just standing there. I prayed they wouldn't enter the room. And
Also, comment down below if you guys had a real lockdown or not.
after what felt like an eternity, they turned and continued running down the hallway. A few minutes later, and the lockdown was over. The school tried to keep the incident silent, but it eventually got out. Apparently, a kid in my grade that I actually slightly knew stole his dad's gun and got into school through a back door he left propped open earlier in the day. Police showed up to the school and detained him before any bullets were shot. They later searched his backpack and found a paper with a list of names on it, which they believe was who he meant to kill that day. Pictures of the list itself leaked. My name was number 4 on that list. I never heard if the kid just got scared and decided not to do anything, or if he just genuinely didn't find anybody after entering the building. Either way, I believe the person that I saw while hiding in the computer lab was him, and that I could have lost my life in that moment.
That's exactly why we don't be leaving classrooms when the teachers tell you not to. But yeah, I feel great for the people who got saved by the police. Well, I mean, like they all got out alive and safe and well. But yeah, story 2. Let's hit it.
Back in October of 2016, for whatever reason, these killer clown sightings kept getting reported around America.
Oh, I hate those killer clowns, bro. For some reason, they always get on my nerves.
Real or fake, videos of them would almost always get posted somewhere online. For that whole month, it was all over the news. I remember in our town specifically, it kind of got out of hand. People in the area were committing real crimes wearing clown masks, or sometimes full-body clown outfits. It was honestly terrifying.
Do they still do that, chat?
This was happening when I was in high school. Throughout that whole month, many of the staff and student school emails received threats. They were always from a different random email address, so there was no real way of blocking them. It was always something like killerclown@cvx.zy or something random. It usually had something to the effect of killer clown followed by some random characters. It got so bad that the school had to send out a mass email to all students and parents saying they were aware of the threats and were taking them seriously. I remember some days the teachers were instructed to teach with their classroom doors locked. They weren't even allowed to leave to go to the bathroom. Needless to say, a lot of us were on edge. I have no shame in saying it was really scary. I saw some of the things the emails were saying. A lot of it was really graphic and truly disturbing. Of course, at the time, none of us knew if anyone was really planning to act on these threats, or if it was just someone somewhere behind a computer screen playing a sick joke. But But honestly, it felt like only a matter of time before something would go down. And finally, one day something would. I was in my trigonometry class when the school's lockdown alarm went off. The principal's voice then came over the loudspeaker. His voice was shaky. Now, our principal was a pretty intimidating dude, so hearing fear in his voice only furthered my own fear. I knew this lockdown had to be related to the threats. In that classroom, there wasn't really a good corner for all of us to hide in. You could see a good portion of the room from outside the door. So our teacher...
What the heck is that? Like standing above this dude over here, bro. I'm being so dead for real. What is that?
ordered us to barricade the door with all the desks and chairs in the room. We then sat as far away from the door as we could. Even this provided a clear view of the glass window on the door. I watched as all the lights abruptly turned off in the hallway, shortly followed by the lights in the classroom. The familiar hum of the heating system faded. The school had cut the power. It was eerie. The whole building was quiet. There wasn't the usual whispering or joking around from other students like there was during practice drills for this kind of thing. Even our teacher had a look of fear on his face, putting me more on edge. We sat there for multiple minutes. We then heard a metal banging sound, like someone was hitting the lockers down the hall. A voice started yelling. One of the girls sitting next to me quietly began crying.
Enjoy 24-hour access.
Bro.
$1 down, $15
Shut your mouth. Ain't nobody want to be doing that. I'm trying to react to my flipping video.
I thought growing up would be the worst, but then I found a way to hack a
Noises continued off and on for the next few minutes. As time passed, the noises kept getting louder, as whoever was making them seemingly kept getting closer.
Comment L ads in the chat.
My classmates and I were staring at each other, all of us gauging each other's reactions. The sound of the classroom's door handle rattling. I looked up. Through the glass on the door, I saw a clown mask looking in. The person stood there for a while, not doing anything. Then they abruptly ducked down out of view, and the sound of the door handle rattling continued. They were trying to pick the lock. We all sat there listening to this happen, when the lock disengaged. Immediately, the full body force of this person smashed into the door. The desks barricading the door slightly shifted back. This happened a few more times, but not much progress was made. They eventually gave up, and we could hear their footsteps running away down the hall. When police arrived, they cleared the building and escorted all of us out. No one was ever found responsible for the lockdown. It's believed at least 3 people dressed in clown costumes entered the back entrance of the school that day, intent on making true to the threats sent over email. At the time, the school did have some cameras, but during the lockdown they cut the power, so they never caught anything. School was canceled for the next few days. When we came back, the school had installed a new auto-locking feature on the doors and windows.
Jesus Christ, this is all getting so intense. Yo, this is actually getting intense. Y'all comment down W school for actually doing the right protocol and doing the right thing. I'm not trying to be a nerd or anything like that, but still. Thank God you guys are safe. Thank God none of y'all died during the lockdown.
This happened in 2013. I graduated college the year prior with a degree in education. I wanted to be a teacher and was able to land a job at a nearby high school. The first few weeks, I was shadowing another teacher, as they called it. It was meant to help me prepare to teach my own class, but it really just felt like a glorified TA position. I would sit in the class.
That low-key looked like my class, though.
It was a chemistry class, and on one of the lab days, we required those flasks used for chemical reactions, measuring solutions, and stuff like that. All of that type of stuff was kept in a supply closet on the other side of the building. I made my way out of the class and started heading over there. After 2 minutes, I was there and began looking for the flasks. All of a sudden, my phone went off. It was an automatic text message from the school. Being a part of the staff, we were required to sign up to receive these automated messages. The text explained how the school was going into lockdown and that it was not a drill. By the time I would have made it back to my class, the door would have likely already been locked, so I opted to hide in the closet by myself. I turned off the light and closed the door. There wasn't much room to sit down. I had to just stand there in the dark. After a few seconds, the lockdown alarm sounded from the speakers throughout the building. The usual ambience from inside nearby classrooms immediately died down. It was now completely quiet. Breaking the silence was the sound of my phone going off again.
Oh my
It
god.
was an update.
See, this is what I'm telling y'all about. Y'all need to stop messing with lockdowns. I know you didn't mean your phone to go off, but like, you know there was a lockdown on the email, yet you intend to keep your phone on ring instead of silent.
It read, "Please remain in lockdown. A suspected armed intruder has entered the building. Police have been notified." I could feel my heart picking up speed. I didn't feel safe where I was. Suddenly, I heard running footsteps in the hall. I ran right up to the closet door and stopped. The doorknob turned and the door opened. It all happened before I even had time to react. Standing outside was an older man in maybe his 50s. He was wearing a regular t-shirt with jeans. I'd never seen the man before. He asked if he could hide in here with me, and feeling bad for the guy, I said yes. There wasn't much room at all, but we both still fit.
My prediction in this one, I feel like the old man might be the intruder.
The man explained how he had been teaching a class down the hall when he heard the lockdown alarm. In my mind, this raised a red flag. Why then was he here instead of with his class? I asked him this. He didn't immediately respond. Interrupting the silence was again the sound of my phone. It was another update from the school. The text said to not open our classroom doors for any reason, and that the suspect was believed to be an older man with a beard. I frantically reread the words on my screen.
Oh.
I didn't get the best look at this guy, but from what I did see, he fit that description. I could now distinctly hear my heart beating out of my chest. I made a split-second decision. I opened up the closet door and ran. I went straight to the nearest exit and out to my car in the parking lot. When I got there, I looked back behind me. I didn't see anything. I don't think the man followed me, or at least he didn't follow me outside. From there, I got in my car and left. I'd say around 25 minutes later, I received a final update text explaining that the police had cleared the building and the lockdown was over. I later learned a man had gotten inside by convincing the front desk that he was there to pick up his kid, but that a lockdown was called when they saw a gun holster around his waist as he was walking down the hall. Several teachers reported their classroom doors being forcefully struck during the lockdown from someone trying to open them. The man was gone when police arrived, and they were never able to identify him. He was caught on the school's security cameras, but they never showed a full view of his face. However, they did show that he was indeed armed. I saw the videos myself, and I'm almost sure it was the same man hiding with me, but it was also dark in that closet, so I can't be certain.
Jesus Christ, that was quite the long story, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, one quote I'm gonna be saying before this video ends: y'all make sure y'all take lockdown drills. Shut up. Y'all make sure y'all take lockdown drills seriously, because we never know what may happen, and it's just to keep y'all safe that you guys turn off your phones and at least listen to the teacher, and don't go outside the room, because you never know when you're gonna have a lockdown happen, because it's either gonna be a fake lockdown or a real lockdown. Either way, you still gotta be taking it seriously. But yeah, y'all make sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on my TikTok page. I'll post it down in the link in the description box below. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next reaction video or gaming video or travel video, which is probably not gonna be for a while. But anyways, peace out, love y'all, and see ya. Happy Saturday evening.